I want you to do something uncomfortable right now. Pull up your bank account. Look at what came in this year. Now look at what's left. If those two numbers are closer than they should be, if you're earning more than you ever have and still feel like you're treading water, I need you to stop everything and watch this video. Because what's happening to you isn't bad luck. It isn't the economy. It isn't that you don't work hard enough. It's something quieter, something more dangerous, something that gets worse every time you get a raise. And almost nobody is talking about it. I'm going to tell you something I don't say lightly. There was a version of me that was convinced, absolutely convinced, that money problems were a poor person's problem. That once the income went up, everything else would fall into place. Save more, stress less, finally feel stable. So I worked. I sacrificed weekends. I said no to things I wanted. I told myself it was temporary, just until I got to the next level. And then the next level came. And I upgraded. Not dramatically. Not recklessly. Just sensibly. A better apartment, because I deserved it. A newer car, because the old one had problems. Better clothes, because the job required it. Better restaurants, because I was finally that person now. And every single upgrade made perfect sense in the moment. And then one completely ordinary Tuesday, I sat down and looked at my account, not anxious, just curious. And the number looking back at me stopped me cold. I was earning significantly more than I had 3 years before, and I had almost nothing to show for it. Not because I was irresponsible, not because I blew it, but because I had quietly, gradually, perfectly reasonably spent every dollar of every raise I ever got on becoming a slightly more expensive version of myself. And the worst part? Nobody around me thought anything was wrong. Because from the outside, the apartment, the car, the clothes, the dinners, everything looked fine. That's the trap. That's exactly the trap. And if you ever felt that feeling, that quiet, unsettling gap between what you earn and what you actually have, then this video is for you. Let me show you exactly how it works. Because it's not random. It follows a pattern. And once you see the pattern, you'll recognize it everywhere. It starts with a raise, or a new job, or a bonus. Some moment where more money enters your life. And the first thing that happens is relief. Finally, room to breathe. And with that relief comes a feeling you've probably told yourself you earned permission. Permission to upgrade. So you do, and it feels good. It feels like reward. It feels like progress. And it is progress until the lifestyle sets in, until the new thing becomes a normal thing, until the apartment that felt like a luxury becomes just where you live, until the car that felt like an achievement becomes just how you get to work. This is what psychologists call hedonic adaptation. Your brain is wired, literally wired, to normalize pleasure, to absorb the good thing, return to baseline, and immediately start scanning for the next good thing. It kept our ancestors alive. Always wanting more meant always searching for food, shelter, safety. But in 2026, that same ancient wiring just means you're always one subscription away from spending everything you make. And here's the cruelest part. The baseline keeps moving. The apartment that felt like a step up becomes the minimum you're willing to accept. The car that felt like a luxury becomes the floor, not the ceiling. You can never go back, not without it feeling like failure. Not without it feeling like you're moving backwards. So you don't go back. You maintain. And then you upgrade again. And the cycle continues, invisibly, for years. But I need to go deeper than the psychology. Because this isn't just about brain chemistry. This is about something much more personal. This is about who you're spending for. Think about the people in your life. The colleagues you have lunch with. The friends you grew up with who are now doing well. The family members who watch your life from a distance. The people who see your posts, your pictures, your apartment when they come over. Now ask yourself, honestly, how many of your financial decisions are really about making your life better? And how many are about making sure those people see you a certain way? Because there's a version of lifestyle inflation that's purely about comfort. But there's a much more common version that's about identity. about being the person who made it, about not being seen as struggling, about quietly proving something to someone who may not even be paying attention anymore. And that version is the most expensive one because it has no ceiling. Comfort has limits, but ego doesn't. Status doesn't. The need to be perceived as successful doesn't. I've watched people drive cars they couldn't afford to impress colleagues who are also driving cars they couldn't afford. I've watched people book holidays on credit to post pictures for followers who scroll past in 3 seconds. I've watched people stay in expensive cities, in expensive apartments, with expensive habits, not because it made them happy, but because scaling back felt like admitting something. And underneath all of it is the same quiet terror. What will people think if they find out the real number? So they keep spending, to keep the story alive, to protect the image. And every month, the gap between what they earn and what they're building gets a little wider. You are not building a life. You are funding a performance. And deep down, you already know that. You've known it for a while. You feel it every time you check your account. That vague, uncomfortable feeling that something isn't adding up. That feeling is trying to tell you something. It's time to listen. Let me show you something that I can't unsee. And once I show you, you won't be able to either. 2 people, same age, same starting salary, same raises over the same career. Person A does what most people do. Every raise, the lifestyle grows. Every bonus gets absorbed. They live fully up to and sometimes beyond what they earn, month after month, year after year. Person B makes one decision that person A never does. Every single time their income goes up, they save the raise first, before the upgrade, before the celebration, before anything else. They keep their lifestyle roughly where it is, and they redirect the increase. By the time both of them hit 50, the income gap between them is 0. They earned exactly the same amount, over exactly the same career. But the wealth gap? Person B has multiple times the net worth of person A, not because they sacrificed everything, not because they lived miserably, but because they made one consistent, quiet decision, over and over, to not let the lifestyle absorb the growth. The tragedy isn't person A's income. The tragedy is that the money was there. Every raise, every bonus. The money came, and it left us as fast, spent on a lifestyle that felt normal, felt reasonable, felt deserved. The difference between financial freedom and financial anxiety is not usually how much you earn, it's how much you keep. I want to say something here that most financial content never says. This is not about being cheap. This is not about punishing yourself. This is not about choosing between enjoying your life and building your future, as if those two things are opposites. They're not. The goal is not to suffer now, so you can maybe be comfortable later. The goal is to build a life that is actually yours, that isn't held together by a salary, that doesn't collapse the moment something goes wrong, that gives you options, real ones, not theoretical ones. Because here's what nobody tells you about financial freedom. It doesn't feel like a number in a bank account. It feels like breathing. It feels like getting a bill and paying it without your stomach dropping. It feels like your job being something you choose to do, not something you're trapped in because you need the next paycheck to cover last month's expenses. It feels like your future being something you're building deliberately, not something that's just happening to you. That feeling, that quiet, unshakable security, is available to you, but it requires something most people aren't willing to do. It requires you to want it more than you want the upgrade. So here's what you actually do. 3 moves. Simple, powerful. Start today. Move 1. Save the raise before you spend it. The next time your income goes up, whether it's next week or next year, decide before the money arrives what percentage you're keeping. Move it automatically. Don't see it. Don't touch it. Let your lifestyle stay exactly where it is, and let the difference quietly build something real. Move 2. Audit the invisible spending. Go through your last 30 days of transactions, not looking for the big things, looking for the small, automatic, invisible ones, the subscriptions you forgot you had, the convenience fees you stopped noticing, The little upgrades that felt like treats once and are now just background noise. Most people find hundreds of dollars a month hiding in plain sight. Move 3. Get honest about who you're spending for. For every significant financial decision, ask yourself one question. Is this genuinely making my life better, or is this maintaining an image? Spend freely on the first category. Cut ruthlessly from the second. That's not deprivation. That's taking your power back. I want you to stay with me for just one more moment, because I need you to understand something about the person you were before you clicked on this video. That person was already feeling it, already sensing that something wasn't adding up, already doing the quiet mental math and coming up short, already wondering if this was just how it was going to be. Earn more, spend more, feel the same. That feeling wasn't weakness. That feeling was intelligence. Your gut knew something your habits hadn't caught up to yet. And now you know what it is. So here's the question I want to leave you with, not rhetorically, but really. What would your life look like if the next raise you got, you actually kept it? Not all of it. Not forever. Just, what if this time you let the income go up and the lifestyle stay still? What if you decided, quietly, that you were done performing for people who aren't watching, done upgrading to prove something to yourself, done handing over your future to the version of you that just wants to feel a little more comfortable right now? What would that version of your life look like in 5 years? That version is not out of reach. It doesn't require a windfall. It doesn't require luck. It requires one decision, made today, reinforced every time the temptation comes back. The trap is real. The trap is powerful. The trap has taken from people smarter and more disciplined than either of us. But the trap only wins if you keep walking into it with your eyes closed. Your eyes are open now. What you do next, that is entirely up to you. If this video hit you somewhere real, if you watched this and felt something shift, I need you to do one thing right now before you scroll away. Drop a comment below and finish the sentence. I knew something was wrong when... No filters, no highlight reel, just honesty. Because the most important financial conversations don't happen in banks or boardrooms. They happen when real people decide to stop pretending and start talking. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, someone who just got a raise, just started a new job, just told you they'll start saving soon, send them this video. Right now, you might be giving them something that changes the next 10 years of their life. Subscribe if you want more of this. Not surface-level tips, not generic advice. Real conversations about money, mindset, and building a life that actually feels like yours. I'll see you in the next one.